Say hi to YouTube, everybody. Say hi to YouTube. That did not go as planned.
You boys like Mexico? Yeah!
Hello everybody, welcome to another video for Groot the Grom. So what are we doing tonight? We are doing the Swingarm extension and I'm so excited. So here's what we got. I've already got Groot lifted up. This was like 30 bucks. Bought a bike stand on the back because we need to balance it. So the kit that we're using is actually, don't look at that, children, is the Ruck Shop 6-inch kit, and it's adjustable up to 6 inches, but we're probably gonna do the full 6. Yeah, probably. So, and I just got the raw because you get the anodized black or the painted black, it might chip, so I just figured screw it, why not? The shock is silver anyway, and there's some silver parts including the exhaust and the fork, so I figured why not. So this is the kit. Obviously these slide into the back of the swing arm. And we got the chain breaker and the longer chain and the bolts and the brake caliper brackets and everything else. And I got the raw stoppers for it as well. So, oh, we also got what's that? The Ruck Shop, that's what it is. So that's what we're doing tonight. So as far as what we're doing for process, first thing we got to do is get this off again, and it's just these 3 bolts like we did in the drop video. We're going to get that out of the way, and next what we got to do is pull off the rear wheel axle and disconnect the chain. The chain, I believe, has a master link on it somewhere. I believe they're painted. Let's see if we can hunt that up on here. I believe there it is, right there. There's our master link. They're super easy to remove, just need a small screwdriver. And we're gonna remove, and I will get a drop light over here so we can see what we're doing. So we're gonna unhook the chain after we get this off, and that's a 14mm, and that's already laid my tools out. That's a 19 for the axle bolt here, and that's just a 12 and a 10 to the adjuster. So we're gonna remove all that, and I don't know exactly what we need to remove on the brake caliper bracket. We'll figure that out as we go. To get our extra slack out of the brake line, you can see this loop right here. We're just gonna break that loose, but not a lot. Don't want to let air in so we don't have to bleed it. Just gonna crack that bolt loose, and we're gonna rotate that hose around, and that's gonna give us that extra length. And we're basically gonna put everything back together. Should not be that big of a deal. I think the hardest part we're gonna have is actually beating the extensions into the back of the swing arm, but that'll be what it is. I'm not really too concerned about it. So that's what we're gonna do as far as getting this dude stretched out, and I'm really excited about it. I rode Groot for maybe an hour and a half today, just around. I got off work about 6:30 and took him out and rode him with the new Zoom exhaust I put on last night that there's another video for if you're interested, and the 2-inch drop. And I think between the 2.5-inch drop on this and the extension, it's gonna sit a lot better, a lot easier and nicer for me, and a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more stable, I'm hoping, at speed. I did break 60 miles an hour down the hill with a tailwind and drafting another car, but that's what we're up to tonight. We're gonna stretch this thing out. I'm really excited about it. This is a mistake. I never should have bought this bike because I can't. We have so much stuff coming in for it. Like I've already received the mirrors, and I'm gonna do a video just on changing over the entire control because we've got all that's gonna change. So I digress. let's get into this thing. I'm not gonna film me twisting nuts because it's just excessive and we don't need to see that. So I'm gonna pull this off first. And like I said, small screwdriver in here. Pull the master link apart. There's videos all over the place on how to actually split a chain when you have a master link. So that's what we're gonna do. And we'll cut back to that after I get all this stuff loose. And I'm probably gonna take all the axle and everything loose too. And we'll come back to actually pulling the wheel off of here and dropping it off the rear chassis and stuff. And look at the our little, that brake caliper is one of the cutest things I've ever seen. Like, look how small it is. Is that not precious? All right, let's get this thing going. Okay, so we got the chain off. I've loosened the adjusters and the axle. As you can see, I took off the fender guard. So all that's really left here, we gotta pull the axle out of the hub assembly. Don't punch the front of your car. Oh my Lord, I didn't leave enough room. I did not leave enough room between my car and the bike. Okay. Ooh, there it is. Try not to drop all your spacers and everything else like I just did. Just gonna put that right over there. We're gonna get the spacer out from underneath this car before I forget it's in there. We'll just set that right over there. And then we can pull the adjusters out. Like so. Make sure we got everything together here. And where the spacer was, we don't want to forget that. And it's best to not let your brake caliper sit dangling on the actual brake line itself. So what's next is we've got to put the extenders in here. So let me get them and see about wiping this out so it might slip in a little bit easier, and we'll go at it from there. And I need to turn top gear down because Richard's getting his Impreza estate stuck on the beach. Okay, well here's where we are at. As you can see, I've got the extensions started. They are a very, very tight fit. Like it's such a tight fit that it's skinning the corner off of the extensions. So I took my file and I just hit the edges on the inside of the OEM swing arm with the file. Just take the sharp corner off, and I also hit it on the corner, on all four corners of the extensions on both sides. And I have a piece of 2x4 that I'm butting up against this and smashing it with a hammer so I don't mar my surface that I paid money for. They are going in very slowly, and it's literally shaving off the corners here. It is getting late at night, and I do like my neighbors, so I'm not going to just sit out here and beat on this any more than I already have. I don't want to be that neighbor. What we are going to do for tonight is I am going to loosen that and get all of our slack to the brake caliper. And we're going to call it quits for this evening. And we'll come back to this tomorrow afternoon when I get home from work, and we'll finish this job up then. Hey everybody, guess what's up? I had to actually beat, and I'm not even going to censor myself, beat the shit out of these to get them in. And I mean, I used a heat gun, I put tape over them to try to help, that's what's left of a 2x4, and I used that hammer, and I beat on this until the aluminum deformed. I wanted to go into the second or third stretch, but as of right now, I want the damn thing back on the ground so I can ride it. So we're going to go with the full stretch. Now, I'm not going to shame the ruck shop for this kit. I don't believe this was their problem. I think that I am some low number freak that had a very serious issue with my stock Grom. You can also see what I've done to this, and I'm going to use a grinder and file it smooth so it looks halfway decent. The one thing I did check was the adjusters still work. So we're still fully functional, just looked awful. And how did I manage to beat these into, you say? About 2 hours and the back of an axe. But it's in. So we can begin reassembly now. I want to ride it today. I'm calm. Now that it's in, I'm calm. It's fine. It's not a big deal. But what the... Alright, let's wrap this video up. We're going to go over this again because it's even worse in the light. You can see what I had to do to physically beat that in there. And I really need to hit it with the grinder and clean it up. It's just awful. But it's in, it's adjusted, chain's adjusted. Make sure you retighten your brake line. Make sure you have all of your stoppers in. Make sure you get your chain on good. I didn't go over in detail how to affix a chain with a master link. Here, if you can get the chain off, you should probably be able to get it back on. This does have a 2.5 inch lowering link on it, and it sits pretty nice like this with the extension and then the drop link. It keeps it pretty even, and overall I'm fairly happy with it. It's a little bit longer than I had anticipated, than I really wanted, but I think with everything else I'm going to end up doing to this bike, it'll look okay, and it won't be offensive or look stance boy. But that's all there is for this video, really. As you can see, I've got it poised to take it out. I've got the Toyota running, let it charge the battery. I hadn't been driven in a while, so I'm gonna take this around the block a few times and see if it falls apart. But there we have it, folks. That's about all there was to it, to this. And look how little that tiny small wheel is on the back. So, all right, there we go. Next up, probably going to be the intake that we're going to be doing on this, and have a slight mod to the intake, and it is the Chimera. So we'll see you guys next time. Mark? Shout out to Ian for driving me. Say hi, Tyler.